And we're live.
And we're live just like that. We
Just
didn't
like
even need to
that.
show the countdown.
I-
I love it. I love it, bro. What's going on, Andrew?
Yo, what's going on, Nick? How are you, man?
Amazing, bro. We're acting like we haven't been chatting this whole time for like 5 hours making calls, right?
Right. It's just literally what we do. We spend more time together than anybody else, I think.
Yeah, we're testing the limits today.
For sure. For sure. Spending an extra couple hours together here. But Nick, why are we doing this podcast, man? What's going on here?
I love it, bro. I mean, listen, we're doing this podcast because when you and I first met, we connected, and I remember exactly when it was, and it was around the time when those the competition was starting, right? The competition on the nightly dial. If you guys don't know, Andrew is a sub 2 student, and I'm in the Flip Me community, looking to get into sub 2 very, very soon, and I get access to the dials, right? So we connected. I knew of Andrew because he's a beast, right? He's always consistently in the daily dial, right? And he was always doing those role plays. So we took it upon the liberty to have set up a call where we were able to chat, and a lot of our ideologies on what we want to do and what we want out of life connected so much to a point where I was like, yo, like I need to be around this guy a lot more. Right. And that was the point where Daryl knew him really, really well. And I was working inside of Daryl's business. And I was like, even though I know, yeah, shout out to Daryl, of course. Y'all know who he is. Make sure you're checking out Scale Out every other day. You know, you got to stay on him to see when he goes live and enforce him to stick on a schedule. Let's do it. And then, so from there, basically, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, we need this guy on the team. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you're putting in mad work, but it was sporadic, right? It was similar to myself. There wasn't any structure as to, okay, I'm getting into a 9:30 meeting. I'm expressing my gratitude here. I'm doing sales training, and then I'm calling for an hour, right? And I'm eating a fucking avocado egg sandwich or whatever the fuck you eat.
No, man. And just to piggyback off of that, right? Like we talk about, that's when we are, I would say, relationship, right? Really just jumped way further, right? When that all started happening, we got into the nightly dial and the challenge, and we were like, yo, let's just team up, let's work together, and let's try to get better, right? But even before that, I saw the work that you were putting in, and we knew who each other were and whatever like that. We've had conversations, but it was to a point where I saw the work you were putting in, and someone came to me for help, and I was super busy with work, and I called you out of the blue. And I was like, yo, Nick, can you help this guy out for me, man? I just got called into work. I got to go. Bro, I know you're killing it right now. Can you help me out with this dude? And
facts, bro. I literally forgot about that. Like, dude, yeah. And that's like such a inspiring and humbling thing for me when people come to me and like, yo, like, can you help me out? Like, I see what you're doing. I believe in you. And like, let's do this. Right. Like, shout out to Anthony. I had a call with him later tonight. He's like, bro, like, I know you're busy. You know what I'm saying? So let me know. I'm like, listen, bro, I will make the time. If you're sending me a lead that we can make some money on, you know what I'm saying? Help out a homeowner. I will make time, like any single time. And that's the beauty about what we strive to do, right, bro? Is like, and I'm very interested to talk to you. We'll get into that maybe in a later episode or later in the conversation as to how you're juggling your 9 to 5 and this, because this gives us the freedom to say, okay, I can make this fit here because I have my whole day time blocked. You know what I'm saying?
And just let's piggyback off that right away, man, like time blocking. I mean, that's everything, right? Like, I know we brought it, like you just said, we can get into it down the line about, how do you juggle your W-2 when trying to be a full-time entrepreneur and like going after financial freedom and everything like that, and everything in between. You're dealing with your friends, your family, your relationships, you're talking to girls or whatever you're doing, right? Whatever, like, your things that you find fun or doing, how can you prioritize everything? We can get into that, but it's really what comes down to is being able to time block. And that's a whole skill in its own. Like, I know you're trying to get that sheet down and trying to figure out how can I time block minute by minute what I got to do. And that's important, man. But really, just to start off here, guys, like what Nick was, how our friendship really came together is, you'll hear me talk about it a lot, but you want to surround yourself around like-minded people. And when you do that, it's really easy to click with someone. And when there's people like myself and Nick, we just hop on a phone and we became best friends. Just because we're on the same path, we might go down different lanes, but we have the same vision in mind, right? And our energy is always high. And we have tough days. Like, we're not going to get that twisted either. Like,
Mhm.
there's some mornings where I wake up and I don't feel like running, but I'm going to go run because it's a non-negotiable in my life. And there's days where I just don't feel like being this super energetic dude, but I know I have to be because I know there's someone else out there relying on me to be that person. And I just go back to those things that I do every day that just really hone me down
That's
to get where I
it,
need to go.
that's powerful, bro. And I like when you say someone else, because if you let yourself down, right, you can trick yourself into saying, "Oh, it's no big deal. I just let myself down. I just skipped the
Yeah.
gym today." But if you're doing it and there's other people on the line when you think about this, bro,
Yeah.
I'm not even shitting you. Like, I had a time where I was about to take a shower and then I was gonna read a book, right? So I knew what I was doing, and I was like, I didn't have my coffee yet. I thought of you and I said, let me make the coffee before I shower because the coffee will be going. You know what I'm saying? Because we
Yeah.
had that conversation. So
Right.
there's direct influences when you can think about a person and it could inspire you to take that action, and it's fucking monumental. I also think it's exactly when people have the same goals and stuff in mind, like it could be different lanes, but they want to get to the same area, is when they connect and they become best friends. So for example, like a Carlos and a Keston, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, if you
Yeah.
guys know them, like for Maurice and Marlon, like you guys call and you really like skip a lot of, like, for example, you skip a lot of the sales process. You get right to the
Yeah.
post sale. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Because I was watching you, bro, when I first came in there on the nightly dial, always putting your hand up. You know what I'm saying? And it flows just like that. That mentality flows to your running. It flows to your working out. And I mean, bro, like what you said, how you were really, like, you were number one in that course when you at the academy. It's like it translates to every single thing you do in your life.
Yeah. All aspects, man. How I love the saying, like, how you do anything is how you do everything. How I put my shoes on in the morning is going to translate to how I make calls in the afternoon. How I make calls in the afternoon is going to translate to how I run the next morning. How I run the next morning is going to translate to how good a person I am during the day. How good of a person I am during the day is going to translate to how good I am in a relationship that I'm in, right? How good am I as a son, as a brother? It's everything, bro. It's everything. Like, to diet, to working out, to waking up, to sleeping the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Finding the best way to do these things is super important, and it goes into who you are, right?
It's 10 times as an entrepreneur. It's even that much more important when you're an
Yeah.
entrepreneur to be extra intentional and break everything down like you're doing.
Yeah, and that's really the whole. I mean, we're 8.5 minutes in, and the big reason for this podcast between Nick and myself is really to just dive in to the mindset and just kind of the work ethic and everything that we put into it to juggle the things that we juggle and to just continue to push forward, right? To like just tell you guys a little bit about our path and what we're up to and how we're coming through the obstacles that we get thrown out in front of us on a weekly basis, right? And hopefully that us talking, I mean, we could talk to each other. We talk to each other all day. We're like, we might as well hop on a podcast and just start talking a little bit, and hopefully it can inspire one other person, you know? And that's all I try to do, right? If this helps one person just take that leap, bet on themselves, go forward and not stop, it's worth all my time.
Jump. We don't care if we're powered by StreamYard. We'll keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? We're
Facts.
taking action,
We'll lose
right?
the
So
sponsorship.
exactly. And it's important to also note that we weren't born with this mindset, right? Andrew said we still deal with struggles every single day. And that's things that we overcome by setting our standards and setting our habits that are non-negotiable. I like to think of that as mindset insurance, right? Or mind insurance. So if I don't do that workout, I'm throwing everything off balance, right? I wake up at 4:00, and from 4:00 to our morning meeting at 9:30, that is my mindset insurance. where I'm able just to focus on me. Any thoughts that I have, I'm not touching my phone, right? Because a lot of the stuff that you see on your phone, you're going to react to it regardless, right? You can control everything that you react to in this morning. And when you get into that routine, it compounds and it compounds and it compounds.
No, and that's so key, right? Like we can get into that now, but your morning routine is everything, and your morning routine is different than my morning routine. But you just have to find those things that really work for you, right? For me, I go right in like my morning routine. I will say it all the time. It starts the night before. Whenever I get home from work or whatever the last thing that I'm doing, and I get out the shower, I make sure that my clothes are set for the next day. I make sure that my bag is packed if I'm going to the gym. If I'm taking like some type of electrolyte or something, if I'm going on a long run, my banana's already out, my electrolytes are out, everything, all my supplements, everything to the T. My headphones are charged, all that stuff in preparation for the next day. So I literally, when I wake up, I say my gratitudes, what I'm thankful for, say out my affirmations out loud. Big part right there. Say them shits out loud, man.
Wake someone up
Really,
for sure.
really believe what you're saying, right? And then from that point, I go ahead and have my morning routine where I'm just getting right into stuff. And then I get right into a physical activity. That's just me, but that's how I start my day. I'm not answering text messages. I do look at my phone. I make sure I don't have like a missed call from mom or something, that something bad happened, but I'm not on social media. I'm not answering, anybody unless it's a dire emergency. And I'm right into either stretching, doing some type of meditation, and then heading out on a run or going to the gym.
I love it. Let me ask you, because I know why, but I want everyone else to hear it. Why not just do all that? Why does it start the night before? Why not just wake up and then just kind of get everything ready?
Because I don't want to worry about anything. Right? Why you're wasting time. If I worry about time blocking, right? And I about like I have a W-2 and I have to make the most out of the time that I have, right? Why would I waste time in the morning figuring out what compressions I'm going to wear, what socks I'm going to wear, what shorts I'm going to wear? Well, the night before, all that stuff's already out. I put it on my stool. So when I wake up, I'm not even thinking.
That's the huge part, right? You said time, but what it also saves your brain, energy, right? You're able just to do, bro, you could do this. You could be a zombie, but you know exactly where everything is laid out. And like before you're even awake out the door, everything's already done.
There's literally mornings where I don't turn my room gets pitch black where I don't turn the light on. And then I walk out of my room and I'm like, yo, how did I just do that? Because I'm just there. I'm just in there just doing it, right? But I do it every single day. And it's been going on for forever now, right? Mm-hmm. And the only thing that I'll like stop to do, because I make my bed. I've made my bed every single morning for years. Like I couldn't even tell you the last time I didn't make my bed. But yeah, dude, I mean, it's super important just to get me back into that state. And I wanted to touch on that is like, that's my ritual. And that's what I do every single morning. Like that is a non-negotiable. I think my favorite word right now is non-negotiable. Like I think I say it all the time to so many people, but it's so important, right? When you really know the meaning of that. Like people are like, well, do you like, why get up?
They negotiate it, right?
Yeah. Like, well, like what it's like, no, bro. I didn't snooze my alarm. I got up because if I snooze my alarm, I know the result. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get up and work out. So like, why am I even wasting time in snoozing my alarm when I know what the end result's going to be? I'm not going to start my day without working out. So why am I not just getting up and going to do it?
100%.
100%. And we talked about those days where you're having a tough time, Nick, right? And I know you can touch on that as well. Mm-hmm. But for me, let me ask you a question, Nick. What helps you more when you're having a tough day than going back to your rituals?
Nothing more. And I think that the gratitude is kind of what is the common denominator in all this, in the sub-2 community and any community that sprouts from that, whether it be morning mindset or any other Keston, everything, right? I didn't understand what it was. I didn't grow up in a family where we're all at the dinner table and we're saying a prayer or we're expressing gratitude, right? You in America, it's different, right? It's a little different depending on, your family, and you really only say you're thankful for shit in Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the
Yeah.
time we would say like and it'd be mad uncomfortable, right? It
Yep.
would be mad uncomfortable. I'm like, why is this like this? You know what I'm saying? Why is this so weird? And why are people so nervous to say what they're thankful for? Right.
Right.
And I think tapping into that gratitude and that there's another word for it, this appreciation rampage, where you're just, oh man, I'm so appreciative of my cat. I'm so appreciative I have running water.
Yeah.
I'm so appreciative of the setup I have here. I'm so appreciative of the time that we're able to spend together on the podcast. Like when you say that, your energy levels, your mood increases so much more. And that's something that you could just tap into anytime that you are, your mind is currently plagued,
Without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. Because I know that's exactly what I do. I mean, I let so much out when I'm going for a long run or I put myself through a super tough workout where I want to throw up. All those other problems just wipe away. I try to make the hardest part of my day in the morning, and I put myself through that so that the rest of my day, there's nothing that really bothers me.
That's a bar. It's like, listen, I already did. And that's the point, right? That's the point of those people that try and negotiate. Listen, I just did my mindset insurance. I just worked my ass off from 4 o'clock. And this could sound like it's bragging, but I'm not. 4 o'clock to 9. I just did all this amazing shit. And you just got up.
You just got up.
You know what I'm saying? You just got up. So
what are you doing?
What are you doing, right? Like, and that's why it's important that we time block and we take advantage of our time, because we are in competition with everyone, right? And we find the right people to collaborate with. But every single person is looking for status, right? Every single person is searching for financial freedom. And I mean, you got to work just as hard as you got to work, not just as hard. You got to work 10 times harder than the next man, right? Because everyone is calling the same people in this business, right? Everyone thinks they have the best solution. But who's going to bring it to the finish line? And not the people that are waking up at 9 o'clock and plugging their ass to the phone.
How can you compete? How can you compete with me if you're getting up at 9 and I'm up at 4? How can you compete? You can't. But let me get
working back. Yeah.
Right. You can't regain time. And Nick, what I wanted to ask you off that, man, is first thing, let's take a step back here. You've mentioned this word 3 times now, so I want to bring it up. Time block. What does that even mean? Yeah, you just plan out your day, or?
So it's interesting, right? Because we live in a society, right, where schools create employees, right? It is designed to create employees, and then you have this set time, right? And let's just, the most known one is 9 to 5, right?
Right.
And that is your time block, right? That is, okay, you have a break and you have this. What do you do when you create your own schedule, right? You have to write it down, right? You have
on the weekend when I'm at the club, you mean?
Yeah, right? When you're at the club, you got to understand, okay, if I'm doing this stuff, how is this benefiting me, right? And you start to realize when you put it on paper and you put everything down, okay, I actually have more time than I thought in these areas, right? Yeah. And I like to have an intention behind everything. So I'm reading a book at 9 o'clock, right? I'm making my calls and I'm going live at 11, right? And that influence that book provides me, who knows? I might start spurting out some of that stuff on the live stream, right? And influence other people. So everything has a purpose. And I mean, time blocking is so essential because let's say, Andrew, I'm at my 3 o'clock, right? And I'm fucking on the couch, right? And I go back, I think, okay, where am I at my time block? All right, I'm on my content ideas and my editing videos, right? So then I could just jump back in. So I just hop back into my day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just because I have that written down. And like you said, it's one less thing for my brain to spend energy on.
So Nick, right? What happens when you do this time block thing? This is an everyday thing?
Every single day. And unfortunately, I have the luxury to make my Monday through Friday. I can make it very, very similar because I'm doing this full time, right? And you'll notice when you look at this, I'm struggling and I have to do this. My Saturdays and my Sundays, I really want that to be my educational, my spiritual. I want Saturday to be, hey man, spend 1 hour to 2 hours doing something you love, right? I'm
Yeah.
playing tennis with my boy every Sunday
That's
morning and
dope.
night, which
Stay
is good.
active.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stay active, and don't you're gonna if you keep doing this stuff, like if you do this 24/7,
Yeah.
you will burn out. Like
Right.
have a hobby that you like to do, right? And that
With
gym stuff,
anything.
it's important, bro. All this
Yeah.
is super important.
Okay. So then, Nick, like, say it's a Monday through Friday, right? And I think this might be a big thing for people to realize is like, so it's a Monday through Friday. You do your time block thing. I'm one of your boys from home, and I'm like, yo, let's go grab dinner.
What do you
Can
have
you
in mind?
can you do that?
What do you have in mind?
Let's go to the bar, man. Let's grab a couple beers and hang out with the boys.
See, and it's funny, right? Because I always start with the what do you have in mind to see intention, to see purpose, right? If it's something that I'm just gonna, it's gonna take energy away from my cup, I will not do it, right? I'm busy, and it's honestly hard.
Your energy away from your cup.
Yeah. So nice mirror. If you guys know sales, if you guys know the stand you know what that mirror is. So basically, you think about a cup, right? And think
Yeah.
about it full, right? As I wake up, the cup is full. And
Okay.
as I continue my day, it gets lower and lower. And I have exercises. I have energy exercises, breathing exercises, people that I tap into to fill up that cup.
Right.
It's not always going down. Like it could get filled up halfway through the day or whatever. But I
Okay.
know if I set myself around a certain type of people, a certain type of mindset, a certain type of environment, naturally, we're all human.
Right.
We're a sponge, right? I'm going to lose a lot of that water that's in my cup.
Right.
And that's something that I can't afford to do, right? Because we can be spending our energy far better. Like we're doing a lot of stuff when it comes to marathon, when it comes to a podcast and who we want to inspire. The mission is really big. And a big thing for me, bro, is to be able to say no. It's hard for me to say no and just be honest. And it's something I definitely need to get better at.
No, without a doubt. And I love that you put that there. And I did do the little mirror, but I really wanted you to explain that because I think it's really important, man. Like, you start off the day, that cup's full because it doesn't start full though. You get out of bed and you're like, damn, this thing's kind of half full. But then you go through your rituals, like your daily affirmations, everything that you do in the morning to get you right. And now your cup's full. You're ready to go. You're ready to work, right? You're ready to put everything you have into it. And to have someone kind of take that away from you can be detrimental, not only to yourself, but the people that you're out here to help, right? At the end of the day, you're helping a lot of people with what you do, Nick. And it's very important for you to know. But I wanted to kind of stress on that. This is because if you don't do the time block, right, what do you know that you can say no, you have to say no to?
Exactly.
Right?
And then your value of your own time can be less. Oh yeah, I do that.
Yeah,
I'll do that. Sometimes you got to say I'm busy, even when you're not, because it's going to put you in a mind frame of
that's it.
Let's get busy.
That's it.
That's it.
Nah, I love that, man. I love that. And you brought up, the marathon. And for those who don't know, we're gearing up for they go back to, me and Nick becoming friends and everything like that. Having a guy where I'm like, hey, bro, I'm doing a marathon. You want to do one with me? And he's like, yeah, send me the link. Signs up. Meanwhile, this guy's never run a marathon before, nothing like that. He's just like, yo, I'm in. I need to test myself a little bit. And
yeah, this man got me to sign up for a marathon, guys. You believe that?
And that's a whole other thing, right? Is surround yourself with those people because and I say that because you brought up competition, Nick. And people, some are like, oh, you guys have such a big ego. Like, you guys got to scale back. But, dude, compete in everything you do. Like, I literally try to tie my shoes better every day. Be better today than you were yesterday. It's the very little things. And when Nick's like, yo, I'll do a marathon. I need to test my body. I need to compete. I need to see how far can I push my mind. Because if anyone has ran a marathon who watches this, it's not about your body. It's about your mind. When you get to mile 21, 22, and you still got 4 miles to go, and you're like, I don't know if I can take another step forward. Are you going to fold, or are you going to man up or girl up and get through it?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's great to hear your perspective as to that, right? Is I did want to hold myself accountable. I did want to test myself, and I knew it was time, right? There's times when you're like, you step up to the plate, whether it comes with a new coaching course and you're going to get hit with you're going to have to come out with the bag, but you know how much it's going to be worth. Just is the same concept, right? I got hit with something, whereas, okay, are you going to step up to the plate? Or are you going to go back to the batter's box? We're not going back. We're taking a lot of swings, and you took a lot of swings as to where, and that's why I surround myself with people I want to be like, right? It's very, very not coincidental. This dude's 25, right? I'm 21. I'm getting like him. I want to get like Andrew. I want to be as consistent as Andrew. I want my beliefs to be as backed as they are. Thus the name of the podcast, as Andrew, when I am 25, right? And that's the people that you want to surround yourself with. This dude literally signed up for a marathon. We're doing one in Philly, which is in November 11th, I believe.
November 20th.
20th, right? So before Thanksgiving, the week before Thanksgiving. And he's doing one, what is it, a month before?
Yeah, 4 weeks before.
4 weeks, guys. 4 weeks before in Arizona, the top 5, one of the hardest marathons. The elevation, the heat is going to be crazy. But he did it because he's not letting his boy do it alone. Daryl, right? Daryl signed it up too because Daryl has the same mentality. That's why we all hang around each other, right?
Yeah.
And I forgot that saying, the flock together, dudes with the same, I don't know, dudes with the same feathers flock together. That's definitely not it. But you know what I'm saying is that is some different. So like after I signed up for the marathon and then seeing him sign up for the marathon, the second one is like, okay, I have so much farther to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not even just about this marathon. I'm thinking about when we do the next 3 marathons. I'm thinking about when we do an Ironman. Like
it's all that stuff. It's the constant competition, but it's so healthy, man, because there's like a huge, if you're not competing, you're going to become complacent, and complacency kills, man. That's like a cop saying, that's a law enforcement saying, complacency kills, right? But it's really a life saying. You get complacent with where you're at, your dreams die. And that's real. You get complacent in your 9 to 5 making $85,000 a year, those dreams of that Porsche die. You get complacent because of who you surround yourself with. And this is real. This is facts right here. You get complacent because of who you surround yourself with. You think that I'd be complacent if I'm hanging around guys that are just pushing me to be better every single day, that are on me? Me, Nick, and everyone else, and Daryl, whoever, we're back and forth talking shit to each other. Healthy to just, you got to get better. We got to get better because there's so much more for us to achieve. If I was just sitting in my room by myself and I'm not comparing nobody, how can I really gauge, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm doing good. Yeah, man, I'm doing good. Always, like Nick just said, put yourself in that bigger room.
Mm-hmm.
Because complacency kills all things. If you think about it, Nick, say you want to, your dream is to be the greatest dad ever, right?
Facts.
Greatest dad ever.
Greatest
you got kids and everything now, and we're talking 10 years down the line, and you're just like, you're doing an all right job. You're like, I'm good enough, right? Then you surround yourself around other dads that are just killing it.
Let's start the question.
That's where I want to be. I want to be. No matter what my passion is. If you want to be the best food bagger, you're working at Acme. I want to hang around the best food baggers in the country. How can I do my job better? And that's a big thing, man. Because if you become complacent, what are your goals? Where are you going? People are like, oh, I've done enough. Come on, man.
No. You could be in the right room and it'll open your eyes. And you touched on 2 good things there. It's like, I do not want to be the smartest person in the room. If I am the smartest person in the room, it's a problem. It's a big problem, right? I want to be curious. I want to be asking questions. And I'm going to use your example because I think it's funny. Is let's say you want to be the best food bagger, right? It's important to know how to find the best food bagger, right? It is important to know, okay, how do I surround myself, right? Let's talk to the people that they may know, hey, my people I surround myself with, they really aren't the best. How do I go out and search for people like Andrew, like Nick, and become friends with them?
And I think the big thing there is you have to find what you want, right? Got to find what you want. And I did that. How I really got here to this point is so funny you brought that up, because in my W-2 job, there's a ton of really negative people, right? It's a ton of negative people. Let me tell you, man, it's crazy.
In life, yep.
So what I did was I found like the 10 happiest people. I would go around, I'd walk around, right? And I found like the 10 happiest people, scout them out. It took a couple months, right? Just like, oh, who's the happiest here? Constantly always happy at work. So what I did was I took a step back and I said, okay, I need to go introduce myself to these people. So I went up and I introduced and said, hey, my name is Angela. And I'm like, hey, listen, I've been here for a couple months. How do you stay so happy when everyone's so negative? And they all had talked to all of them. And they all told me that they did something outside of work that they love to do. Right. And so that was at the time, my biggest thing was how do I become the happiest person at work? Right. I always want to be high energy. I want to have the most energy in every room I'm in, because positive energy is freaking contagious, man. It's contagious. And so is negative energy. Right. Everyone knows a energy vampire. He or she walks in a room and you're like, man, no one even wants to talk anymore. Right. They're walking all slumped. They got grim across their face. And no one wants to talk to them. They don't want to talk to anyone. They're so negative. No one wants to be around those people. And I always said I would never be those. That's not how I was raised. I would never be one of those guys. So what I did was, like Nick said, you got to find where you want to be in life. Where do you find those people? So scout it out, right? Scout it out. If you want to be the best car salesman, start going to different car dealerships, right? Start going to the Lamborghini and the Range Rover and everything like that. Go to the best, top of the line places and just start talking to people.
Yep. And that's amazing. I'm going to break it down, right? If anyone needed to hear it again, is know what you want, right? Know what you're going for. Scout it out. And Andrew said it took a couple months, right? So if you don't see it in the first week, don't get down on yourself, right? Yeah. Ask questions. But before you ask questions, interview or introduce yourself, right? He introduced himself. He put himself out there and then ask the question. When you approach someone with that intention, you get the most raw and genuine answer, right? And I want to also, Brad Lee has he cracks me up, bro. Brad Lee, hilarious. He cracks me up. Yeah. He says, like, listen, if there's a fat weight loss coach, you know what I'm saying? He might know something about weight. He might be knowledgeable. He might be doing something, right? But he's not taking the action, right? No. He's not doing it. He's not implementing his own action, right? No. So you want to make sure that you qualify these people as well, right? If you go to any car salesman and you pick one randomly and you don't know if they're actually doing it, that could actually be manipulation, right? It could hurt you, right? And you can learn from someone's mistakes, but you got to understand that they're mistakes. Right. So know who you're talking to. When you find these people, when you get in these rooms, introduce yourself, be intentional, and ask questions. And there's no stupid question. And I think school and society has really hammered that, like, hey, like, don't ask questions, guys. Like, you can just keep it moving, right? Someone else will ask the question. But if you ask it, right, you're going to learn that. You're going to know that for the rest of your life.
That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. That's just great advice all around, man. And thanks for breaking that down. And just to repeat kind of what we talked about on this podcast, really, is just the biggest thing, man, is is really having those rituals in the beginning of your day that can just set yourself back for success. And Nick talks about having his cup and filling it up, right? And don't let someone just drain your cup to where it's empty and you need some juice and there's no juice left.
Mm-hmm.
There always has to be some juice in there for you, right? So
Be
for
selfish.
me,
It's your
go
time.
exactly. And then at the end there, man, if you want to go and you want surround yourself around the right people, how Nick and myself did with each other, you'll naturally gravitate towards those people that are on the same mission that you're on.
And how did we get to the same path? My bad for cutting you off. It's important to know how we got to the same path. Me and Andrew became very clear on what we wanted, right? We became
Very intentional.
very intentional on what we do. Andrew's going to come up. He's going to go to the Daily Dial every day at 7 to 9. I'm going to lock in with Daryl. I'm going to make the calls from this time to that time, right? And from there, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be in the right rooms. We're going to be in the Nightly Dial. And that's where we're like, okay, we're both on the same mission. Let's lock in. And from there, the sky is the limit. Marathon, podcast. We both locked in with Daryl doing deals. You know what I'm saying? We're both going to be owning Airbnbs. We're both going to be raising private capital. So it's all up from here, bro. Guys, we have an Instagram account called My Marathon Mindset, where we're going to be posting a lot of what we're going through on our marathon and running journeys. So make sure you guys follow that on Instagram. Andrew,
did we lock up just to piggyback off that? Did we lock up that? I would say, was it a partnership maybe with Flipping Cancer? Are we gonna help raise some money for some people or what?
Yeah, we're gonna.
Why are we even doing that? Why are we doing that? We're doing it to raise money for ourselves now.
Hell no, bro. Nah, we're so yeah. I love that. So yeah, we're looking to build this into something so huge and so monumental to give back to the community, right? And it starts with all of us. The Philly Marathon, I know, is specifically about cancer research, and there's a lot of people in my life, that have been affected by cancer, and Flipping Cancer. Shout out to Keston Glasgow. They have, he has a story where someone in his life, was going through cancer, and they could have gave up, right? They could have gave up, and they explored natural remedies and other things of that nature that had an amazing recovery on her. God bless her. So we're going to be teaming up with them and just running for a bigger purpose, man. And I'm excited that this spawned out of nowhere. It really just spawned. Like, it's crazy to think about how all this happens in 3 months, guys. You really underestimate what you can do in a year. Yeah. Crazy to what we did in 3 months. So, man, I'm looking forward to this, man. Beyond blessed.
Nah, I appreciate it. Everything that Nick said. And it's like everything that we do is for a bigger cause, whether we're helping people, we're raising money for people, however we can get a little bit better. But Nick, I'll let you close it out, what you were ending up going to say before I cut you off. But I wanted the people to know why we're doing what we're doing, and that it is a bigger purpose than just us trying to push ourselves.
Nah, that's super important, man. I think it's important that we laid down the law and talked about how we met each other, right, on this first podcast. And it's going to be a building block for a lot of people to see as this grows. Let me ask you, I mean, are they people watching right now? Are they going to be able to come back and check in on us? When is this happening again?
Every week, tap in. We'll have it at least once a week on here, if not twice. You never know with us. If we decide to do it twice, we could do it 3 times. Who knows? We might be on here for an hour and a half one day. But we'll be on here. We can guarantee 1 time a week. We'll be on YouTube. We'll be live. Get more people in here. Ask us some questions.
Yeah.
Come hop on with us, right? Let's break down your mindset. You need help with something? Let us know. But I appreciate all you guys watching, all you guys listening, doing whatever you guys are doing. I'm out. Have a great day. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Let's do it. Let's go.
Yes, sir.